What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan Bodgwick, and this is my YouTube channel, Sex with Gods, where I teach men how to be godlike in their sexual conquests. And the title of today's video is going to be How to Use Momentum to Get Her into Bed. So, what do I mean by momentum? Well, we're going to do a little psychological study. A couple of videos before I mentioned before that I have a vast education in psychology, psychiatry. I also have a vast education in theology, but I'm not going to be using theology today. We're going to be using psychology. And what we're going to be using the psychology of is highway driving, when you're driving your car. Okay? We're going to be using the psychological concept of road rage and highway hypnosis. Okay? The idea behind road rage is simply a break in your momentum. When you're driving a car and you're going at a certain speed, a certain momentum, all of a sudden traffic slows down. You feel that, just that anger come in a little bit. Some people are more controlled about it, some people aren't. You are breaking your momentum, and that creates frustration, right? And then on the other side, highway hypnosis. Like, you ever drive in your car and all of a sudden you start thinking about things and you have no idea, like 20 minutes later, how you got to your destination because you weren't even paying attention. You're like, what the hell, how'd I get here? Like, how come I didn't even wreck my car? That would be highway hypnosis. And these two things happen when you're in a date or when you're out with your woman and this stuff happens, right? Because of the fact that you want to be the guy who has control of the momentum of where it goes. Because as a man, that's how you want to lead the date, the relationship, whatever. You want to be the one in control of the momentum. The minute that she starts controlling the momentum is when that frustration starts coming in, right? Now, you might be asking, well, what happens if she gets frustrated? You want that. You want her to be frustrated because the frustration leads into what we like to call in the psychology field is sexual frustration, right? When you're exuding your sexual confidence from yourself and you exuding the self-discipline, all the stuff that I talked about in my original video on my channel, the main video on my channel, how to use sex to achieve anything, or no, how to achieve anything in your life using sex, and all the techniques that I explained in that video. You're going to exude that sexual energy. You're going to exude that sexual confidence. You're going to exude all of that godlike power that you have. And she's going to want that. And she's going to want to, to know what it feels like to be with you sexually, right? And when you control the momentum of the date, she's going to feel frustrated, right? So just think about when you're in a road race situation, okay? So you're driving your car, and next thing you know, you're slowing down. You're like, oh, okay. Then you pick it back up again, and then you're slowing down. And you pick it back up again, and you're slowing down, right? What does that do to you when you're in your car? That creates a sense of frustration in your mind, right? Now, akin that to on a date. What is a date? Um, a date is just creating opportunities for sex to happen, fun-filled opportunities to create sex to happen. That's basically what a date is. You and the woman that you're on a date with, you're having a competition basically of who's going to cave first, right? But as a man, you're not going to cave. What you're going to do is you're going to get her to sexually pursue you, and you're going to use her frustration of that pursuit to get her into bed. You know, it's just a natural dance. It's just a way that we as men should be pursuing women, right? So you're going to give a little bit, take a little bit, give a little bit, take a little bit, give a little bit, take a little. So, like, what do I mean by that? Well, by the way that you, um, the way you conduct yourself, the way that you are behaving on the date, right? You could be talking to her, you could be into her and stuff like that, and just throw something out like, wonder what it'd be like to kiss you, and then just change the subject, right? Like, you just come out there and be like, I'm really wondering what it'd be like to kiss you, right? And then she's like, oh, I don't know. Well, so anyway, like Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Steelers were playing the other day, and and she's gonna be like, "What? What?" She's not gonna be saying this, but she's gonna be thinking in her mind, and all of a sudden, you just created that that um that road rage in her, right? Like she's not feeling it as powerful yet because she's not there yet, but you're creating that frustration building and building and building, right? Another way to do that is that you start building momentum and you're talking about getting her to talk more about herself. Like, tell me about your career. Tell me about your job. Why do you love your job? Oh, and this is a killer one. That this one will get women really, really, really interested in you. Ask them. Say, what would your last ex-boyfriend say about you? Ask her that. Dog. She keeps flapping her ears. What would your last boyfriend say about you? And really intently listen because you're going to get a lot of information from her about that, right? How does she describe her ex boyfriend? How does she describe her last relationship? Oh, he was an asshole. He did this. He did that. Wow. Guess what, dude? You're next. You're the next guy she talks shit about. Do you want that? Is that the kind of date you want? Really? I mean, is that the kind of partner you want in your life? It doesn't matter how fucking hot she is. She could be fucking gorgeous as can be, but the minute she starts talking about, oh, he was an asshole, he mistreated me this, he was that, he was that. Sorry, dude, you're next. You're the next one in line. You're the next guy who's going to be, she's going to be talking shit about. Now, let's say if you ask her the same question and she comes back and she goes, well, I mean, like, things didn't work out, but I'm thankful that he was in my life because he taught me this and blah, blah, stuff like that. Wow. That's what you want in your life. You're like, wow, okay, great, great, So you get that momentum building, getting her to talk about herself, right? And then you like do something to distract her. Say like if you're at a table, right? She's talking about herself. You're like, excuse me, 1 minute. Can you bring us a couple of drinks? Well, like right then and there, you just put a break in the momentum, right? Because she was talking about herself. And then you come back. Okay, what were you saying? Good, continue. Right? So you're driving, pulling back, putting out, pulling back, putting out, pulling out. Now, what you have to understand though is she's going to give you cues. She's going to give you cues of how interested she is in you. Does that mean that you take the first cue as just oogling all over her and kissing her and stuff and everything? No. No, you want to look at the cues and you want to mirror what she's putting out, right? So if she's talking about herself and she's playing with her hair, she's fidgeting with her hair or something like that, then what you want to do is just lean a little bit more. Interesting. I like that. Uh, Tell me more. I want to know more, right? She's like, well, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking of like, oh, okay, I like that. It's interesting. It's interesting. Excuse me, can we get some drinks here at the table? Blah, 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 whatever. You're out, right? Okay, I'm sorry. Good. Continue. Right? You see how that works? See how that builds that up, and then it comes back. You build it up, come back, right? Now, here's what you really have to keep in mind with that main video on my channel, the main video on my channel, how to achieve anything that you want using sex. You want to keep that goal in your mind. Your goal is not to have sex with this woman. Your goal is to not sexually pursue her. Your goal is to not get her, is to not fall in love with her. Your goal is not to be head over heels over her. You already have a goal. You know that either you want to take the first step to start a business, or you want to take the first step to getting a promotion at work, or you want to finance, or you want to mortgage a home, or you want to finance a new car, right? That's already on your mind. That should be where your sexual energy is geared towards, not on this date, because then you start losing control of yourself. Not control over the situation because you can't control the woman, you can't control how she feels. You can only control what you are trying to achieve in your life, your goals, right? And that brings us into like the highway hypnosis part, right? The minute you start focusing on being, getting her in bed and trying to achieve sex with her and trying to get her to go past her boundaries and stuff and everything, is the minute it's very akin to highway hypnosis. You're driving your car, all of a sudden you lost sight of your goals. You lost sight of what you're trying to achieve in your life. And you lost sight of the fact that you're looking at this woman and you're determining whether or not if you want her to be a part of that, if you want her to be a part of your life. Now all of a sudden you're driving and then you bring yourself back to like, wait a minute, I just got here. How did I get here? I just lost sight of everything. See how that works? See that? Right? So that's really powerful. So you got to be really aware when you're out with a woman of where your sexual energy is and where your sexual confidence is focused on, where it's being applied at, right? The idea for the date, and she's doing the same thing. She's feeling you out. You want to feel her out as well. You don't want to get into that highway hypnosis. You want to be sitting there, all of a sudden she's like, well, I got to get going. My friend just called me and blah, blah, stuff like that. All of a sudden you're like, what the hell just happened? Right? Because you got the highway hypnosis going on. You want to be constantly vigilantly aware of where your sexual energy is already geared towards, right? And you want to build a little road rage in her, right? You want to get her to have that sexual frustration, right? Because it builds tension, it builds frustration. And it does that mean that she's going to fuck you on the first date? Probably not. Probably not. Does it mean that she's going to want to have a second date with you? Most likely. Most likely. Yes. Yes. There's a very good chance that she'll want to have a second date with you because the fact that you weren't pursuing her, you were interested in her, but you were engaging, you were pulling back. You were engaging, you were pulling back. You were engaging, you were pulling back, right? Going back to the comment of like, I wonder what it'd be like to kiss you, and then change the subject, right? You could use that. There's, I'm a very big proponent on kissing on the first date, right? She might, there's a very good chance that if you do this right, she'll bring it up. She's like, you mentioned earlier about wanting to kiss me. How come you haven't done that? You can just follow it up. Just be playful. Like, why haven't you? And like, I thought maybe you were going to come on to me. I was waiting for you to come on to me. Why haven't you kissed me? You know, I mean, women are all about equal rights, right? So why not equally come on to me? Why haven't you pursued me? Why haven't you tried to kiss me? If you want it, come get it. Come on. Come here. Right? And that's how you do that. And then you want to do that road rage technique again. When you kiss her, you pull back in a joking way and say like, "Is that the best you got?" Because I'm looking at other things now and saying like, if you're this bad at kissing, what else are you gonna suck at? And she's like, "Oh, you asshole!" Oh, but you're being playful about it. You're not being an asshole and be like, "Is that the best you got?" Oh my god, no, don't be a dick. Be playful. Be fun. Have fun with it. You know, like, is that the best you got? Here, let me show you what a real kiss is like, and then go back in and kiss her, right? And then when she's engaged with you in that kiss and she's putting in more effort, you pull back and say, "Now that's how you kiss. From now on, you kiss me like that." Right? And she'll be interested. And then you pull back again. Do the road rage. Put a break in the momentum. Right? She's gonna think that okay, well now he's gonna try to grab my tits. Or he's gonna try to finger me under the table. He's gonna try this. No, you don't do that. You pull back, talk to her, and be like, all right, so you want to go out to the beach, or do you, because I live at the beach. Do you want to go to a dance club? Do you want to go do this? Right? After you just got done kissing her, right? So let's go out and do this now. How do you feel about that? She'll be thinking like, what the fuck? What, wait, he just got done kissing me. Now he's not doing this because you're focused. You're focused on your goal that you already have in mind, and you're feeling her out. You want to make sure that she's a quality person in your life and she's going to add value to your life. And like I said in the other video before, that she's going to make you feel safe. She's going to make you feel secure. She's going to make you feel respected, right? Just the same as you're making her feel safe, secure, and respected. And just a full disclosure, when you're doing the road rage technique with her, you're doing it in fun, playful manner. You're not doing it to intentionally piss her off. You're not doing it intentionally to be like, no, fuck you, you're gonna fuck me. And no, don't do it that way. It's gonna be fun and playful. Very, very fun and playful, right? And it's going to be to the point where she's not going to know if you're serious or if you're just joking. You want to, like, on that borderline between, like, are you being serious? Or, like, I can tell he's being playful about this, but is he really serious about this? Like, you want her guessing, right? So you're going to use that road rage technique, right? Build the momentum, break the momentum, build the momentum, break the momentum, build the momentum, break the momentum. And don't get into the highway hypnosis part of it. Don't do that, because you want to keep that goal in your mind. And I keep coming back to this because it's really important. You want to keep going to that goal in your mind of forward focused thinking, what you want in your life, right? She, on the date, is not the center of your universe. She's not the center of your universe. She's a part of your life. You're including her into your life, and you're gradually finding out if you really want her more and more in your life. That's masculine energy. That's what you should be doing as a man, okay? Because she'll be doing the same thing back to you. It's in the coaching industry, especially with relationship coaching, it's called shit testing. She'll be shit testing you, and you'll be shit testing her right back, right? By breaking the momentum, building momentum, breaking it, building it, breaking it, right? Like, another good way of building momentum is getting her to talk about herself more. She'll say something about, like, I don't know, like, this girl at my job and she was this way and blah, blah, stuff like that. And she was, or my manager, my boss was this way and blah, blah, stuff like that. And then you can be like, really interesting. I don't know if I fully agree with everything that you said on that. Tell me more. Maybe you might be able to convince me, right? She'd be like, okay, right. But that's playful. It's fun, right? You were allowing her to talk about yourself, and then you put a break in the momentum, right? You want to keep doing that over and over and over again. And full disclosure, okay? I want to make sure that you understand that it doesn't matter if you're married for 30 years or you're just on your first date. The minute you stop dating your partner is the minute your relationship is beginning to end. When you stop dating your partner is when your relationship begins to end. You always have to continue to date your partner, and they have to continue to date you as well, right? So you want to keep putting these little road rage techniques out on your date. Doesn't matter if you're just on the first date or if you're married for 30 years. You want to keep dating. You want to keep doing these road rage techniques. You want to build the tension. You want to build her sexual frustration in you, right? Because women are very emotional people. Men are more physical people. I mean, men are emotional as well, but not as much as women are. And when you make a woman feel a certain way, she remembers you by how you made her feel, not by how you looked or how you acted or how you be. I mean, that's all important, yeah. But how you made her feel is how she's going to remember you. And if she remembers you by how you made her feel fun and playful, but kind of a mystery, why were you getting her sexually frustrated, then pulling back, then building momentum, then pulling back, and building momentum, pulling back. That's how you want to build that attraction. And like I said in my previous video, I have a 3-date rule. I'm not going to have sex with a woman, or I'm going to try not to have sex with a woman until the 3rd date, because I want to get to know her. I want to get to know if she's going to be a valuable part of my life. She may be telling me what I want to hear on the 1st date. Okay, that's fine. Let's see on the 2nd date, right? I'm going to remember what she said. on that first date. And then most likely she might forget, and I'll call her out on it. Like, hey, remember when you said this? It's like, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. And I just leave it at that. Like, okay. Just want to see if you remembered it. And then all of a sudden she thinks like, well, what's that mean? Well, why, why do you bring that up? And then you change the subject. I just change the subject. I'm like, yeah, okay. So anyway, blah blah, whatever. Just change the subject and whatever's going on with the date. And then she'll be thinking that like, okay, so is he calling me out on this? What? She might even bring it up. She's like, well, why'd you bring that up? Like, no reason. I just remembered you said it. So anyway, tell me more about what you're talking about. Right? She was going towards that momentum. You put a break in it. Right? And that's how you build that sexual tension, build that sexual frustration in her. And she'll want to release that frustration. Right? But you as a man, again, like I said, you're already forward focused on a goal by using the technique in my original video on the main video on my channel. That you're forward focusing on your goal and you want her to be a part of your life. You don't want her to be your entire life. You know what I'm saying? So she'll want to break you down. She'll want to pick apart your brain. She'll want to get inside your head, right? But when you are consciously aware of the road rage technique, when you're constantly aware of not going into highway hypnosis, when you're constantly aware of what you're focusing your true intentions are, when you're constantly and consciously aware of you want to see if she is going to be a good fit for your life, then she's going to see you differently. She's going to value you. And she's going to think to herself, what can I do to get him either to break? What can I do to see if he's really this way? What can I do to see if he's true to what he's portraying himself to be? All right, maybe I'll kiss him. She'll lean in for a kiss and start, doing something. And then she'll sit back and observe, right? It's very subtle. It's very subtle. You won't be able to tell. But she'll be sitting back and observing to see how you react. Are you going to go into highway hypnosis mode now from that point on? Or are you still going to be focused on? Like say if she reaches out and she kisses you out of the blue, 9 times out of 10 that's probably what she's seeing where you're at. If you're gonna falter from where you're at, and she kisses you, and if you take the approach of highway hypnosis and you start losing it, and then next thing you know she's pulling back more, she's less interested and stuff like that. Well, basically what you did is you failed her test. But if she reaches out and kisses you out of the blue just to try to throw you off track, and then you do that whole road rage technique, you're like, wow, you just kissed me. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, let me show you what a real kiss is like. She's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, but not right now. And then you start talking about something else. Like, she's like, well, what the hell was that all about? Right? I'm like, don't worry, I will eventually. I'm gonna show you what a real kiss is like, but I'm not feeling it right now. She's like, oh, okay, right? And you keep that momentum going. You keep it. Momentum, build, momentum, break. Momentum, build, momentum, break. And by the end of the night, if she wants to go home with you, that's your discretion. You can decide if this is a first date, if you want to have sex with her that night. It's going to be your choice. Right? 9 times out of 10, I probably would. Right? And then I want to see how she's going to behave after that. Like, did she use sex as a way just to test me, try to break me, try to get me into highway hypnosis mode? Right? Or was she authentically having sex with me because she was really attracted to me? What was that all about? Right? Because sometimes women can play really fucking dirty. They can play really fucking dirty. And they'll have sex with you just to try to throw you off. Just to see how you're really going to act. And that's a dirty fucking move. Right? But you want to be consciously aware and keep observing, keep observing, keep observing. Like in the afterglow. right? After having sex with her. How's she behaving then? You know, is she cuddling with you? Is she like, oh my God, that was so amazing. Thank you for that. And, you know, like, you know, and is she putting her head up on your shoulder and you know, massaging the hairs on your chest and, you know, kind of like grabbing the side of your face and getting you to pull in and kiss her and she's being real soft and sweet. Well, then you know it was genuine. Then you know it was genuine. But if she gets up, starts getting dressed, says, okay, well, you know, I'm going to get going. Like, that was a dirty fucking move then. Then that was really fucking dirty. You know, she was just doing that. And then think to yourself, do you really want someone like that in your life? Do you really want someone who's going to play that fucking dirty? So, anyway, this has been my video. This one's going over a little bit longer, but I wanted to show you how you can go on a first date and also treat every relationship that you're in, whether or not if you're married for 30 years or on the first date. You want to continue to keep dating, and how to use these techniques of road rage technique, and don't get into highway hypnosis. Don't don't fall for the highway hypnosis part of it. You know, you want to keep that goal in mind. Keep that forward focusing momentum going in your life, right? But you still want to build frustration in her, and you want to just see how she's doing, and the shit tests that she's going to be putting you through. You want to shit test her also back because she's going to be doing it to you, right? So there's nothing wrong with you doing it back in return. It's not a way to be vengeful or spiteful or vindictive towards women. It's a way to see her character, what she's really about. If you really want this woman in your life, and you're qualifying her basically by shit testing her, and it's a very gentle test. It's a very subtle test. It's very or tests themselves. They're very subtle. They're very gentle. They're non-evasive. They're just a way to just see whether or not if she's somebody that you want in your life, right? And how she's going to behave towards certain things and certain gestures and certain acts in certain ways that you build momentum and then break momentum and then build momentum and then break momentum. Like, how does she respond to that? You always want to be vigilant of that. So, anyway, I hope this video helped out. It's a little bit more off topic, but it does help out as well. Oh, and the most important thing is, let's say that if you do have sex with her and she is true and authentic and she's lying next to you, she's cuddling with you, and she's trying to kiss you more and stuff and everything, and she's thanking you for a good time, um, does that break your momentum and your goal that you set in your mind that you're using your sexual energy for? Yeah, it does, right? But now you know that somebody who's in your life is truly authentically into you, who's truly authentically attracted to you. Now you can include her gentle, feminine energy into your life. It's going to help you, and you can make a decision that you want to have her in your life now. You want to include her, not all the way. You don't want to go all the way after a first date. You want to just gradually introduce her into your life more and more and more. And if she is true and genuine and having sex with you that night, and she's gentle and she's caressing you and cuddling with you afterwards and stuff like that, don't be a fucking pig, right? Cuddle with her back. Like, if you're really into her, cuddle with her back, kiss her back, caress her back, caress her hair, you know, do all that stuff, right? And then make sure you thank her for a good time. If she's ready to leave after cuddling with you for a while, say, okay, great. You know, I really look forward to seeing you again. I really enjoyed our time, and I really think we should do this again. I really love this, and I'd love to see you again, right? And call her the next day. Make sure that you call her the next day, because women are very in tune with this. If she was truly genuine with you and she wasn't shit testing you, she wasn't playing dirty with you, that if she was truly authentic, call her the next day. Don't text her the next day, call her the next day. You're simply just going to say, hey, look, I really enjoyed our time last night, and I really want to spend another day with you. Let me know when you're free. I want to get together again with you. All right? So I look forward to hearing from you again. Look forward to seeing you again. Call me when you're free. All right? Take care. Bye. Right? And then, you know, you hang up the phone. She'll try to keep you on the phone. She's like, oh yeah, it was so great, but just be busy. Keep that momentum thinking in your mind that you're focusing on your goal, right? Because you want to keep building that change. You still, like, even after you have sex with her, you still want to keep building momentum, breaking momentum, building momentum. And even if you're married for 30 years, you still want to keep building momentum, breaking momentum, building momentum, breaking momentum, right? That's what keeps the relationship alive, but it's done in a playful way. It's done in fun and playfulness. It's not done as mean and vindictive. You want to be fun and playful, even if you're married for 30 years. So anyway, I hope this video helped out. It kind of extended a little bit longer. It's about 30 minutes now, and I apologize for that. But I hope this video helped out. If you want me to do any coaching with you, I can certainly do that. I'm confident in everything I possibly can do for you. I can help you build the business. I can help you get the promotion at work. I can help you mortgage the house. I can help you finance the car. I can help you get into the relationship. I can help you get your ex back, right? Based on the video and the technique that I use in the main video of my channel. Check that out. It's very powerful. It creates godlike power. So if you want coaching or if you want a story for me to unpack, write me at the email address in the description of this video. I'll be more than happy to book a coaching session with you or to unpack a live video. If you don't want me to include anything on a live or on a public video, you want me to do a private video, I can do that as well. There's just going to be a little bit more cost to it, but I can certainly do that for you as well. Again, like I said, that when I do a public video, it's a mutual respect where I'm unpacking your story. I'm getting you to see things differently and getting you to see things in a whole new perspective, and as well as building value to my channel as well. So we're kind of like mutually helping each other out. But if you want me to do a private video, since it's not going to be mutually helping each other out, I'm going to have to charge a little bit more for that. But I'm definitely going to give you the value that you need. It would just be private video instead of a public video. So if you want that, be sure to email me in the link email me in the description of this video, and I'll definitely help you out. Okay? I'm Ryan Botchwick. This is my channel, Sex with Gods, where I help men become godlike in their sexual conquests. And I look forward to talking to you in the afterlife.